Hello, everybody, and welcome to meditation this evening. I just want to welcome everybody wherever you might be listening from. Welcome. It's a pretty nice day here in Kalamazoo today. I was able to get out and take a walk and actually left my house for the first time in 4 days, which was nice. So for tonight's meditation, I wanted to go back to the beginning, sort of, and we're going to practice the first meditation practice I ever was taught formally. I had been practicing meditation on and off from a little bit in high school, some in college, but I had been practicing mostly on my own. And it wasn't until shortly after the terrorist attacks of 2001 that I ended up going to a temple and starting to practice more regularly. So I'll give a shout out to the Midwest Buddhist Temple in Chicago and Reverend Koshin Ogui. He was my first formal meditation teacher. And as I was thinking about that, I was thinking that it's kind of interesting that I started doing this now as sort of the same way that I found myself going to the temple after the attacks of 2001, because it feels a lot the same way in the sense of needing to feel a community. And that's one of the reasons I'm doing this, is to hopefully build a community. Even if we're all isolated, hopefully this is something we could come together and practice and come together and do. And in that sense, also, I'd like to say, as I continue doing this, I want it to be about you and about the community, so that if you have things that you'd like to request or meditations that you'd like to do or questions to ask or talk about or whatever, send me emails, send me comments, ask me questions. I'm a little bit, I don't want to wear my reading glasses because I'm kind of vain, but at the same time, I can't really read what you write as you're commenting, but I will check them all out afterwards. So, anyhow, without further ado, we'll get right into the practice. So first, sit up nice and tall. Let's do a quick stress reduction, stress relieving, tension release exercise. Be glad that I can't see you all and I get to be the only one that looks funny. So relax your arms at the sides, and then with an inhalation, shrug your shoulders up towards your ears, squeeze your hands into fists, squeeze your eyes really, really, really tight, make your face as small as possible, and exhale, relax completely. And one more time, again, inhale, shrug your shoulders up towards your ears, squeeze your fists really, really, really tight, squeeze your eyes, clench your teeth, really, really tense. Exhale, relax completely. And relax your arms at the sides. Have your shoulders relaxed. Your hands could be resting on your knees or folded in the lap. Have your chin slightly tucked. You could either have your eyes closed, or if you choose to have your eyes open, let them be fairly passive, as if you're not focusing on anything in particular. And first, just bring the awareness to the breath. We are not trying to change the breath or do anything different or breathe any particular way. You've been breathing as long as you've been alive. Your body knows how to breathe. So just let it be natural. And notice where you notice the breath. You might notice this on the tip of your nose. You might notice this as a sound or a feeling moving down the back of the windpipe as the air moves to the lungs. You might notice the belly expanding with the inhalations and softly releasing with the exhalations. You might notice somewhere else, but wherever it is that you notice it, focus primarily on that area. And first, just take a few breaths, noticing the inhalations and noticing the exhalations. And then with an inhalation, mentally count the number 1. And with an exhalation, mentally count 2. Inhale 3. Exhale 4. And continue practicing like this, so on and so forth, until you reach the number 10. And then we start over. A wonderful meditation teacher named Sharon Salzberg, who actually wrote the book about loving kindness that we practiced on Sunday, she likes to describe meditation as a practice of always having to start over. So as we continue counting 1 through 10, getting to 10 and starting over, if you find that your mind wanders, and it's a mind and that's what they do, but if you notice your mind wandering and any thoughts come up, allow those thoughts to come up, note them briefly and without judgment, and with an exhalation, let them go, and go back to start at number 1. Anytime you might get to 3 and then a thought comes up. You might run with that thought for a little while and not even know that you were thinking until, oh, wait a minute, I'm supposed to be counting. And then go back to the counting. So it's inhale 1, exhale 2, inhale 3, exhale 4, anytime a thought comes up, allow it to come up. Note it briefly and without judgment. And with an exhalation, simply let it go, returning the full awareness to the breath. doesn't really matter if this is the first time you've ever practiced this or if you've been practicing this way for years. The practice is the same. With practice, it becomes a little easier to notice when your mind has wandered off, or to notice what those thoughts are when they come up, but the practice is the same. In addition to thoughts, you might find physical sensations or emotions or feelings or any other kind of sensations might arise as well. Treat them just like you would a random thought or any other sensation. Again, and I say this probably a couple hundred times throughout teaching meditation, that anytime anything arises, allow it to come up, note it briefly and without judgment, and with an exhalation, let it go, returning the full awareness to the breath. And over time and practice, we begin to realize that everything, no matter whatever it is constantly changing and constantly in motion. So if you notice a sensation that you might find unpleasant, let's say, resist the urge to push it away or make it be different or whatever, because whenever we start to do that, it brings our attention just to that, and that's what we're paying attention to, so then it sort of magnifies it. Whereas meditation teaches us to sit back, observe, watch it, let it be whatever it is, and over time, it'll disappear. Or it won't disappear, but it will reach its peak and then it'll fade away gradually. And if we're lucky, it won't come back. Most of the time it does, but so meditation is a practice of watching more so than trying to change. Breathing in Know that you are breathing in. Breathing out. Know that you are breathing out. Bring your hands together into prayer position in front of your heart. And take a moment or two here to quietly thank yourself for coming to practice this evening. Thank you all for coming to practice. I hope that you all stay safe and healthy and happy. And I will see you again tomorrow night. Thanks.